All right,
Okay.
I'm hitting it.
All right.
Okay. This is an episode of my favorite episode of. Julie, so kindly, after me begging her for weeks and weeks to do the intro, is letting me do the intro. And it's only fitting because our guest today is my very best friend in the entire world and soulmate, Julia Robb Schreckengast.
Hey.
Welcome, sister.
Hi, Sasa.
Hi, Julie. Do you have anything to say?
No, you nailed it.
Okay, cool.
Fucking Shrek.
Fucking Shrek.
Fucking
God.
Shrek.
Are we getting into it?
We are. Today is name drop town.
We're just
Please don't.
we're doing the absolute most.
Okay, so
today.
that story
So this girl.
drama. Okay, so she is doing Lost season 2 episode 1. What's it called?
It is called Man of Science, Man of Faith.
Yes, we watched this together yesterday, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. So she picked Lost, and I was like, oh, I'm going to binge 25 episodes in 2 days. I was like, yeah, because 25 episodes in the first season, and then I'll get to season 2, episode 1.
25
That
episodes
is
for one season.
impossible, especially a
It's
first
so long.
a first season is long.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and also the finale of season 1 is Exodus part 1, 2, and 3. The finale is 3 episodes for
great.
3 weeks. That
Great
is
for me.
it is great for me as well. But I feel like you don't need it to be that.
I want to say they had to have done like a double back to back.
Maybe.
There's no
like
way.
the first episode.
There's no way they did 3 weeks of like,
I don't
we
know.
aren't ending this. You
But
think
anyway,
it's ending.
I only got through 7 episodes.
So you did not, Julie, I'm looking at you, watch
Yes.
Lost at all.
No. So I remember everyone watching this, but we didn't have cable when we were younger. So we
That'll do
Wait,
it.
I feel like you've said that before. I didn't know that back in the day.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, I probably
Till
played
when?
it off. I was like, yeah, I saw that episode of Lost last night.
Till when? When did you get cable?
We didn't have it when I was like, no, we had it when I was young because like SpongeBob was like my fucking life.
Sure.
I was like, yeah. And then
As it was everybody's.
it was like my parents were like, you know what, we're done. We're not paying for cable. And I remember it just being like, what? Like I think that's why I went to your house for that Hannah Montana episode. I don't think I had cable.
She wasn't friends with you. She just used you for
Yeah.
your cable.
What the fuck?
Sorry.
So you didn't watch Lost.
I binged it in college in
Okay.
like 2 months. I just
So
Same.
did you didn't watch it when it was
I
on?
did not watch it when it was live. I remember exactly. I remember people watching it.
Yeah.
But my Lost introduction story was I watched it in college. My boyfriend at the time got me watching it. And it was his second time through, my first time. And I watched it so quick and through, honestly, a drunken haze.
Yeah.
So this was like eye-opening.
we
It's like,
we
oh, I've seen
we
this
were
before?
watching it yesterday, and I had it was as if I've never seen the show before. I was like, why is this happening? Who did this? Why? Why?
Yeah.
I didn't remember a single thing. I think that's the problem with binging shows so fast. Is like
Yeah.
you're like, this is a brand new show, but that's actually a cool thing because I was
Yeah.
rewatching it. Like, okay, I gotta re-binge this.
Right.
It's really like watching it for the first time again.
So what exactly is the show even about? Like,
Whoa.
because like I don't know.
take
Like,
us to the
it
beginning, Robbie girl.
Looks like they're
Okay.
lost on an
So we
island.
got a plane crash, obviously. First episode, pilot episode, season 1, obviously. So good. We just get a plane crash and we're introduced to all these characters. There's like an A team and a B team and some side people who don't like really matter. But we're basically just the first season is a lot of logistics. Like, okay, we're now on this
Yes.
island. How do we get water? How do we get food? And that's why I picked an episode from season 2, because I feel like we've gotten past that. They kind of already have an idea of what their day-to-day looks like.
Yeah.
And it's now we're past the like, oh, this is a survivor story. And the writers and producers and directors made it past that like this is just a drama phase.
Yeah.
And they're like, now we're full fucking fledged sci-fi. And this episode is like, we literally blow the lid off the fucking hatch and we're like, oh, this is genre bending.
Yeah.
We're sci-fi now.
Yeah, the whole first season
awesome.
kind of like eerie things happen on the island
Yeah.
that makes you think like no, don't say sorry. ever.
my God.
That makes you think like, okay, something's weird is happening. Like, there's way too many coincidences. You get backstories on every single person,
Yeah.
and they somehow like converge a little bit. So you're like, this is not a coincidence that this plane crashed on this
Right.
island. And that's when you land on season 2, episode 1.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, we're getting a little piece of how everyone ended up. They're on a flight from Australia to LA and it crashes, obviously, and we get the survivors. And it's just chaos at first. And then we get little pieces of their flashback. So did you watch The Leftovers at all?
No.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, it's also done in similar style, I believe. I didn't watch it either, but I was hoping you'd have something like some reference
Do you
point.
have anything to
I
say,
didn't have
Julie?
cable.
Oh my god,
a
The
more
Leftovers
recent
is
show.
new.
Yeah, it's newish.
Oh.
Ish.
But basically, it's like serialized, and each character has their own episode.
I love that, and
it's
and
awesome.
and it makes for like some episodes are better than others.
Yeah, you latch on to certain people, and you're like, oh, I love this person. I want their backstory. And then, for instance, Claire, Charlie, and Claire. Actually, both of them suck.
You all, everybody.
Everybody.
It's our favorite band, Drive Shaft.
Wow, that
Drive
sounded so good.
Yeah, she's a great
Go,
singer.
girl. Wow. Nailed it.
Yeah,
Jack is hot.
Jack is hot, and you know what? I am so very sorry because Sawyer is not in the episode I picked.
Yeah.
And
I was
Josh
just gonna say, I was
Holloway.
like, who the fuck is Sawyer?
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn.
Well, I think that Jack was hotter.
Don't say with the wig.
No, like shaved head. No. It's like shaved head. Like,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, it's a wig.
Yeah.
The bad wig. So
Bad,
okay.
disgusting wig.
So do you want any more season 1 stuff set up?
I mean,
You're gonna
if
have
it's
questions.
yeah,
from-
like-
You'll yeah, pepper those in because it's like who knows what's going on.
yeah.
But basically, to set up for those of you lost heads who don't remember what season 2, episode 1, Man of Science, Man of Faith is like, is we got on the island drama, of course, and we got flashback drama. So on the island, we've blown up the hatch. We've got some of the survivors at the end of season 1 who are on the raft. We got Michael, Jen, hot Jen, hot Sawyer, really hotties, and Walt is like a hottie to become.
Yeah.
He's
12.
too young for me to actually.
He's 12. Cut that out, Matt.
Leave it in, Matt.
But you know that song? He's like a singer rapper.
Yeah, we know the song. What's
It's
the song?
like
What's the song?
It's all classic.
Yeah. No.
Oh, from the guy Tony Aller.
No.
Oh.
Tony Aller from As the Bell Rings.
I want to say it's like
Yeah.
MK.
Yeah, MPTO.
That's
It's like
that's what the T is.
Oh, for real.
Money,
Malcolm Kelly, Tony Aller. Got it. Love it.
Wow, that's good. That's
Okay, that's good.
So,
So we
is
got
that who you're talking about?
yes.
Yeah.
Tony Aller's in the show.
No,
Oh.
the other
the
guy.
Oh.
Malcolm Kelly as Walt.
Oh my god,
So
I'm fully getting that.
They're
MPTO.
on the raft. They're out. They're trying to save the world, the
Okay.
island folks. We got the island people, and half of them, or not half, like the cool half, team A team, left to go blow up the hatch. So they're on this island, and they find this just like underground. Obviously, you've seen it. It's in this episode. Bunker essentially, and they're like kind of secretive about it, and they're like, let's blow the lid off of it.
Yeah.
And then we have a lot of the B team and like honestly C, D, E, F, G team
Mm-hmm.
in the caves. So they're just like hanging out there trying to like be relevant. And then in our flashbacks, we get a Jack centric episode, which I loved Jack on
Yeah.
my first watch.
Yeah. So yeah, he's kind of a douche in this
a
one.
doucher. I have problems with him and Kate, but
Yeah,
But-
he is our like token protagonist. Like
he's our hero.
The first scene of the first episode, you get his zoom in on his face waking up from the plane
Yeah.
crash, kind of like being like, "What the fuck?"
which we get in this episode. We get an opening of an eye right off the bat.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So it the first episode pretty much follows him. He's a doctor, so he's trying to like he takes on that leader of the island, but he doesn't necessarily want it. And that's
Right.
kind of his storyline. And he has this dad who is like has always been hard on him. He's
Yeah.
never good enough, whatever. But in this episode, you get his flashbacks where he is just a doctor and then he meets Claire. Claire, what's her name? No, Claire Dunphy.
Her
I'm thinking
name's
Julie
Claire.
Bowen. Julie Bowen,
Yeah,
who
from
is
Modern Family.
Yeah, Claire Dunphy.
You can't really recognize her because she's
Yeah,
all
I was
bloodied
like,
up.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that was her.
Yes. It's a young Julie. I mean,
Yeah.
2004.
She's great in this episode.
Yeah, really great. Charming.
That tear when she asks about so in the flashbacks.
I know
for those of
exactly
you who
what
don't
you're gonna
remember,
say.
it's so good. So in the flashbacks, Jack is, as Kathleen said, operating. He has 2 people come in from a car crash, same accident. Which lost trivia. Our second person who's wheeled into the hospital or whatever the trauma at the same time as Jack's soon-to-be wife, spoiler, Sarah, is Adam Rutherford, aka Shannon's dad.
Yeah, this show is so fucking convoluted.
Bonkers.
It
I
is so
love that.
convoluted.
That's one of the things I
Yeah,
love
it's
about this
smart.
episode is because, like you said, Kathleen, there's a lot of coincidences and stuff in season 1. Like we get a lot of, you see some characters in the background. Like at one point, Boone, R.I.P. If you watch Vampire Diaries, Ian
Actually-
Somerhalder, is that his name? Did you watch it?
I'm on season 2 right now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't watch it when it
Me
was on
neither.
TV.
I didn't watch it either.
But
I don't love him. They killed him off.
Which one was he?
He was not in this episode.
Oh,
Because he's dead.
He's dead. He's already dead.
gotcha.
And that's cool because they killed off a main character. in
Right,
season
right,
one.
right.
So that little boy that the one chick sees when she's looking for the
Yeah,
dog.
it's Walt.
That's Walt. That's
He-
MKTO.
So he is a character in the show, but
he
he's
is
on
a
the
child.
yes.
Yes.
Which is why we
Yes.
said, edit that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's fine because how hard was
gets
I going
hunky.
off about the kid from High School Musical?
Yeah, but he was
Oh,
19.
God.
Yeah, but
Gosh.
he still
Well, yeah.
looks like he's 7. So
I know.
it doesn't
True.
help.
We always say River Phoenix in
Oh.
Stand By Me is like the hottest of hot, and he's literally 12.
We can't scratch it all.
Don't scratch it.
Let's
I
start
stand
over.
by it.
I'm
R.I.P.
Julia.
River
I'm new
Phoenix.
to this. Welcome.
Welcome.
We can't redo it only because Kathleen nailed the intro.
Good.
There's a first time for everything.
So basically in season 1 you get like overlaps. So you get
Yeah.
Boone's character is in, he goes to the police station. You see Sawyer in the background. He's been arrested. And then you get the Sun and Jin episode, which there's an entire episode in season 1, which is entirely in Korean, which is awesome. It was like very before its time.
Yeah.
But there's a scene in there where you see Hurley on the television in the background.
Love
So there's
Hurley.
so many little things, like little Easter eggs that honestly make sense because they're all in the same. Obviously, they've been in Australia the days leading up to the flight, so it's not that surprising. But this is the first episode where you're like, oh, we're getting coincidences that are more than just we happen to all be in Australia. The Adam Rutherford thing, and then obviously the main kicker here is Desmond.
Yeah.
Which
Oh God,
we
Julia,
gotta talk about the intro.
that is, yeah. You can do that, but we watched the episode, and it's honestly not that big of a like first episode of season 2 until the end.
Oh my God.
And I was like
yes.
punching her. I was like, oh my God, what a fucking amazing like twist,
Yeah.
quote unquote, at the end.
I don't know why. Like, I'm not gonna lie and be like, I called that, but I had a feeling that guy was coming back.
Yeah.
Only because like of their like interaction when they were like running up the bleachers.
All right, Julie. Give us the whole Desmond thing.
Okay, so honestly, I don't really remember Desmond's full arc, so don't at me.
You have like 10 pages of notes. You didn't write that
We
down.
No.
watched an episode and she was never not typing yesterday, but she already had the notes written and was just like ripping.
Why are we doing this, guys? Why are we calling me out here?
She's prepared,
Yeah,
unlike
no,
us. I have like a few notes. I have like my note is like Jack's disgusting wig.
I know my note was Jack is hot.
Prison
one of them.
Mike is
Prison
another
Mike,
one.
he's spot on. Looks like Prison Mike
He does,
when he's running
up
the
the thing.
Todestad. Yeah.
Okay, all right, go ahead, hit it with the opener and do your little thing.
So I feel like I picked this episode too. Obviously, digging into it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can defend why, even though there's not that much thrilling stuff that happens.
Sure.
But this was one that definitely stuck with me in the drunken haze that was me binge watching this in college because the music, the opening song, "Make Your Own Kind of Music," Mama Cass, is fucking phenomenal. It's
You
so
wanted that to be her walk-in
good. That
song
is
for
my
this.
walk-in song. I'm going up to bat, baby.
Make your own kind of music. Sing your own
Those harmonies. Yes.
Told you we're soulmates.
Well,
I don't know the words to that one.
But
That's okay.
wasn't it like we kind of talked about this, but like Julia will talk about the beginning, but we finally get into the hatch. Jack goes down and first of all, like you land on this island and you think, okay, this is a deserted island, no one's ever gonna find us. And then
Right.
you find out that there is like others
Yes.
living there. There was once people. Someone built this hatch. Like
Yes.
this is not a somewhere that no one's ever been.
right. And I think too at this point they have that assumption that
Yeah.
this is maybe, it's abandoned. They know that there's others on the island, but they're honestly using this hatch to hide from them. So they're
Yeah.
like, no one's in this thing. It's just like a shell of a thing.
So this song is in the opening scene, which Julia will get into. But Jack goes down into the hatch for the first time, trying to find Kate and Locke, who go down there. And all of a sudden, this song, like "Make Your Own Kind of Music," starts blasting, and it's like imagine being on a deserted island for months. You don't hear music. You've never heard music. You haven't heard music in months. You haven't seen
Besides
any
shitty Charlie singing Drive Shaft
Yes, and
with
you
his guitar.
right, and you haven't seen any electronics or anything
Right.
that's like actually besides the stuff that came off the plane. They have nothing, and he is just that song just blares in his face, and I just can't even imagine the shock you would feel being like, a song. What
Music.
like but it's cool because the Lost scoring is amazing.
Oh,
Famously amazing.
it is so good.
But like we don't really hear that much music. I mean, they do. They play a few.
Did you have a favorite character theme? Because I know you were more into this when we first watched.
I was, and I
Season
can't
one of
remember,
college.
but I did. I had the whole, like, that was my study playlist. You want to go into the themes? For every character, they had a different twist to it. But I mean, I'm not going to get into it because I'm not as well versed as I was 5 years ago, but it's really dope. Like, if you were to just listen to there's like Charlie's theme, Kate's theme, etc.
The titles that they have for the songs too are so stupidly punny. Like the one that they have for when Boone dies is called Booneral. It is so.
One of my fan favorites I still listen to is called Hurley's Handouts, and there's just an episode at the end of an episode. He's handing out, I think it's Dharma food, and it's just like, oh, we're really getting on a tangent here,
Yeah,
but
sorry.
Hurley's Handouts is a really good, just cute song.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. Explain the first part of the
Well,
episode.
the first segment, it's like the cold open for this season, which if you think about where we left off in the last season with people have been split off, people are out in the open seas, no fucking thank you.
Yeah.
Like they give them a gun and they're like, use this at the right time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy. And there's a kid on it, like a hot one.
They give, Julie, you didn't, they, for your reference, like Jack and Sawyer are the two, like they butt heads constantly.
Yeah.
And Sawyer is like, quote unquote, the only one who knows how to use a gun. And this is like in the finale of the season before, and he kind of hands him the gun before they go on to open sea and being like, use it if you have to, meaning if you have to fucking kill somebody to put them out of their misery, you like, that is so fucked. That happens in Arrow too. Like that is such an insane concept. It's like, if you have to fucking kill someone to put them out, if they're starving to death and you have to kill them.
Yeah, just do it.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yikes.
Did they all, like, you find out as the series go on, like, that they're all, like, connected to each other in different ways?
Yes.
Like, is that...
Oh my-
That is like the whole.
You should watch the show.
It is so good. That is the whole crux. I think that we get our first real taste of that in this episode, that there's more beyond just, okay, they were all on the same flight, that there's interlocking stories or interlacing stories as to like how they all connect to one another, which is the overarching theme of the show is like human connection and like people who are, there's a lot to talk to about belief and faith. Obviously this is man of science, man of faith.
Yeah.
And I think this is they've now gotten the okay to do what they want. And I know our producer here was saying, he had a friend who wrote for the show, they were just saying, you just like, these are the gaps you need to fill in and hit these plot points, but otherwise fill it in however you want. But I think this is the episode that they really are like, okay, we've earned our spot, we've earned our primetime spot, and this is like what we want to do with it, and this is what we want to say, and here we go. This is like, we blew it off and let's do it.
Okay, now I know you have you love this opening scene.
I love it so
explain it.
so much. You know, as I was just saying, and then we got on a tangent. But
Yeah.
imagine watching the show where your exterior, your interior settings are just island, beach, jungle, caves, and then there's flashbacks
For 25 episodes.
so many hours, and then you're waiting for season 2 to premiere, and the first thing you get is this unknown figure wandering around. He's doing kind of like quotidian tasks, like he's cleaning up some dishes, he makes a smoothie, he gets on a Schwinn bike and like does a workout, he like puts on a record. Obviously that's where we get the track, but you're almost like, okay, am I in a flashback? Is this someone on the island's story before they were on the island? Like who is this person?
Right.
And you also get, this is also where you get kind of the first taste of time travel-y stuff, because we've got the music, which is from late 60s, early 70s. You get the Schwinn bike, which looks old school, but then you get these washing machines that look like are today. So there's a lot of stuff in the background that I love. I think you could watch this episode or this opening segment so many times and be able to pick up different stuff if you were to freeze frame, which I think they probably, I don't know when TiVo became a thing, but maybe it's now when this episode aired, that they start really being like, okay, everyone's gonna, there's so many things in the background of Lost
intricate
episodes.
details.
So good.
Yeah.
When they show him doing his whole routine, and then obviously there's a noise we hear. He cuts the track and pulls out like this gun and sets up these mirrors, and then it leads to where we see season 1 has ended, where they've blown off the hatch. So it's like, oh shit, this guy's in the damn bunker. He's been on the island this whole time.
Living his life, having food, doing things, and the premise of him in the bunker, when you actually find out, you don't see it in this episode, is insane.
Pressing a button, we can't.
But we don't, honestly, like, this episode, we can pretty much skip over, like, I mean, we're not going to, but let's keep it with Desmond, like, then, so you're having these Jack flashbacks of him trying to save Claire Dunphy, Julie Bowen. They're in the hospital and you can't save her. She has like spinal damage. Her husband's like, her fiance's a dick and is like obviously gonna leave her.
He's like,
so
we make love.
Yeah, so he promises her he's gonna fix her, and so you find out like he didn't, quote unquote. Yeah. But so he's doing a tour de stade?
A tour de stade.
And which means you're running up the entire stadium's flights of stairs and bleachers. And he runs into this Australian dude. And so Julie, Julie, for someone who didn't watch, did you think he was from the first bit, or no? Were you just like, no? Like,
no, I thought it was just a stranger.
Yeah, and it's such a good bit because he just keeps calling him brother.
Oh my God.
So then at the end of the episode, Jack finally gets through the bunker and it's him. Like it's so that is like the first thing that you see in Lost that's like, wow, this guy met Jack. And Jack recognizes him and is like, you. Because it's such a weird thing. Like, Desmond looks at him on the bleachers and is like, I'm going to give you some advice. Like, lift it up. And then it's like, so this whole thing, basically, it explodes Lost. It's like, fuck. Everything's on purpose. Yeah. Nothing's a coincidence. This all happened for a reason. And then chaos ensues for the rest of the series.
And how many seasons is this?
6.
And it's like a One Tree Hill kind of thing where it's like 25 episodes per season.
I think they might have had like a shortened season.
There was like that like 2000
writers hiatus.
Writers hiatus, or something.
Writer's
like that.
strike.
Hiatus. They're like, we're going on vacation.
We just like don't want to do our jobs for a little bit, just a little bit.
So a lot of like grades had a season that was only like 14 episodes or something like that too. But we've talked a lot, Julie. As someone who's never seen the show, what were your questions? What did you think? Is this something that you would say, okay, I want to watch?
Well, when I watched it, no. Like I was like, oh, I probably wouldn't watch this. But now that you guys are saying that it's like not coincidental and like there's like, I love a show with like a lot of good twists, right? Like I love when it's like mind blowing. Yeah, so that's what it sounds like this is. And I'm actually like kind of pissed, and I'm assuming it's accurate. In the movie This Is 40, when the daughter's obsessed with Lost.
Oh, fuck. What does she say?
I've never seen that.
Oh, really?
I'm scared. Did she spoil the shit out of something?
She watches the last episode, and she's like, they all died! And like she's like sobbing. And like, I mean, I'm sure
that is an insane thing for This Is 40. Paul Rudd. Is that Judd Apatow doing spoiling Lost for all fucking Lost heads out there?
Yeah, because it's like,
you all everybody.
Last episode I can remember, I was like, I was unconsolable.
We have to go back, Kate.
We have to go back.
I mean, not last episode, so don't add us at that either. But I remember vividly watching that with you at my house.
Yeah, your house, yeah.
And my mom just being like sitting in the back with a glass of wine, just being like, what's going on? Yeah, more questions.
Yeah, let's hear questions.
Did you say that Jack and the chick from Modern Family, they end up getting married?
Yeah,
they do.
Okay.
So we know that they're married by this point because we've seen their episode where they're about to get married and he's writing his vows and he's like, I don't know what to say. And we know their backstory, but now we're seeing it.
And we also know island, right?
She's not on the island. We also know now that by the time Jack's arrived on the island, he is no longer married.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we don't know what is up.
So a little weird thing is that when he meets Desmond on the bleachers of the stadium, he says, I couldn't do it. I promised her I would fix her and I didn't. So she had a spinal injury, right? And again, a lot of this man of science, man of faith, everything is miracles and whatever.
Right.
Like,
it's like, what school of thought do you choose to believe in?
Right. So he did not. He says, I couldn't fix her. I didn't do it. And then when you see she's fixed.
He gets way too emotional for a doctor.
I know, right?
Suspend him.
Yeah, but that was a really emotional scene. And like she's like, I can wiggle my toes, and that's a miracle. Like it's not. He didn't fix her. So like, there's obviously something more at work happening.
Right.
Here,
yeah. And I think
higher power.
And I don't know that it's really apparent in this episode. I think it kind of is because you get the people at the hatch and you get John Locke, who's the bald guy, and Jack are at polar ends. They're like Locke is the man of faith and Jack is the man of science.
Yeah.
And they're constantly butting heads throughout season 1. And it's honestly kind of hinging a lot around this hatch situation, which ended up killing our dear friend Vampire Diaries, Ian Somerhalder, because they were like trying to blow it open and he got injured, and Locke gave misleading information because he was trying to keep the hatch a secret. So Jack, as a doctor, didn't get the information he was privy to actually save him and blamed Locke. That was like a shit ton I just threw at you. So, but basically they are.
Julie's like, I wasn't listening.
No, I was. I was.
No, you were looking deep into my eyes. I felt like
You felt a connection. Me and Julie haven't had a connection all day.
I know, it's really bad.
No,
no.
This is the last episode.
Yeah, this is it. This is the end.
Oh man, that sucks. Well, I'm happy. I'm like honored to be on it. Thank you guys.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Been at like odds with one another. And you kind of see it in the sense that they're like Jack, they blow the hatch open and Jack's like, nope, not going down. And
Yeah.
Locke's like, well, we must. Like, why did we do this? And he very much feels like everything has happened for a reason.
Yeah.
So his backstory is bananas. He was paralyzed before he got on the island. You see him in flashbacks getting wheeled in a wheelchair onto the plane, and the plane crashes and he can move his legs, which honestly, no, just occurring to me, that's Sarah. Like that could have been Sarah's situation.
Right. Exactly.
So they have more in common, or more, topics between them.
Locke is a very interesting character. He's like kind of annoyingly like he does whatever the fuck he wants. So, okay, Julie, do you know in this episode? I've watched too much Lost in the past. Do you know about the numbers? Is that in this episode? When Hurley's talking about the numbers, when you watch Lost, like these numbers, which I used to know it by heart. 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. And it's like, so the spoiler alert, whatever. The whole thing is Desmond has to type in those numbers every 108 minutes or he thinks the world's going to end. Doomsday fucking shit there. Like what he types
on his computer thing
is that.
Right.
Okay.
And so the crazy backstory, have you met Hurley, the big dude with the curly hair?
Yes.
So his backstory is he was in a psych ward.
Right.
And then one of his roommates say these numbers all the time. 4, 8, 15,
Just
16,
like
23,
muttering
42, muttering them. So Hurley then plays the lottery with them when he's out and wins $114 million, and then bad luck just ruins him. His house catches on fire. He
says in this episode too, it's so funny. He's like, the chicken place I worked at, it got hit by a meteor.
Yeah.
Oh, well, a meteorite.
Yeah. It's like
oh,
so
shit.
wild. And he sees those numbers on the door. So it's like, again, another thing that's like so wild. I just think like, I really do think you would love this show. It gets twists. It's crazy. But it's like generally like a show about how people act when they're.
I think it's like about how people belong to one another.
Whoa, tell me more.
Well, I think it's just like
That's
the
deep.
coincidence. The coincidence is like they're all destined to be, and there's a lot of mention of destiny in this episode where Jack's like looks at Locke and he's like, "Is this your destiny, Locke?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
fucker." You damn fucker. But it really is like these people, which in later seasons is, we expand on it, but that they're meant to have cross paths and they're meant to, at the end of everything, however long their lives, end up being, they die together. They end up like being reunited in the afterlife. I don't know.
Sure.
I can't get into it. I can't do it. Don't. No, I'm backing away from them.
I was so it's so funny, like stupid random thought I had. It was like Jack is in this like cutoff shirt, and it was like before it was cool to like
everyone's
actually
arms look great.
cut the shirt. Like he's in just like this, like he just cut the sleeves. He looks like such a dork, like a 2004, like the way he cut his sleeves off. It's such a random thought, and I was like,
You mean that he didn't like he wasn't
people
like
cut the shirts like this.
okay,
And you can see the
like
body.
all the way down.
Yes,
low,
and
low.
he's just like in this like very 2004 cutoff shirt.
There's a lot. Let's chat. 2004. What were we doing? How old were we? Yikes.
5th grade.
Really?
We were in 5th grade.
No.
Jewels, let's talk about your period again.
No, you guys.
It wasn't until 7th grade.
I need Julie to talk more.
Yeah, Julie, what's up? How are you?
I'm good.
Are you okay? Are you
No,
sure?
remember I told you I was like, I feel like I'm not gonna have that much to say. I didn't have that many notes.
I know.
But I think it was also because I literally didn't know a thing about this show. Like I didn't
Like,
even know
have
how
a
they got
guess.
on the island.
Have a guess.
Yeah. Can you explain to me, like, if you had to make it up off the top
Like,
of your
okay,
head,
so
what's
this guy
the show
does this
about?
and that guy does that, and these
Pre
two
us
fuck.
telling you what the show is about, what did you think the show was about?
Like I knew that there was people lost, obviously.
Oh my god.
They are so lost.
Yeah, but like I thought that it was like 5 people, and then it's really like
A plane
500.
full. Yeah.
I just didn't really know. Like for some reason, I was picking up very much like Hunger Games vibes, like when they're on that island thing, and I think it's like the second or third one.
Oh shit.
But I didn't know. Like I was like, I don't know, like what the point of this is. Like I don't like what.
It's
the
very
point of anything?
It's very the plane crash happens and it's very Lord of the Flies. People rise,
that's another
people-
thing I thought of too. Is
Yeah.
fucking Lord of the Flies.
It's so Survivor too. Like there's like alliances, and it's like this
Yeah.
is the era too where Survivor was a huge
Yeah,
show.
Brian loves Survivor.
Really?
Yeah, not Matt. Brian, the other brother.
That's so funny.
He loves Survivor. He's always watching it.
This
Oh my
this
God.
show is like I know I meant to watch. There's like a 30-minute thing of making of the pilot because it's literally like, Julie, I'm telling you, like a plane crashes. There's things exploding everywhere. Imagine a plane crashing onto a beach and just like, but they're actually exploding. People are getting
Someone gets
fucked,
sucked into a jet propeller,
and then it's just like.
within the first 10 minutes.
But like this show, it reminds me of Walking Dead in the fact where it's like, could you imagine getting ready to be like you're an actor on the show and they're just like greasing you up and making you look disgusting. It's just like Walking Dead in that fact where it's like you're fucking foul.
So early in season 1, because they were shooting this truly in Hawaii on location, and Claire,
The
worst
pregnant
character.
one, or the one with the baby. At
yeah,
this
she's a
point?
baby now. It's
I
been
don't even know
born.
if you've seen her.
No, I don't know
I
that
don't
she's
think
in
I
this at all.
I don't
That's
think I
why
saw her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was confused as to her whereabouts because I don't keep tabs on Claire because she sucks. But anyways,
You suck.
well, you know, to each their own.
Yeah, sure.
So Emily, I'm not even going to try and butcher her last name, but in the first season when they were shooting, she said, like, listen, these are harsh conditions. Can I please get a hat? And ask the writers. And they were like, not yet. They're like, your character is not comfortable. We have not identified all the clothes in the suitcases. Like, we don't want you guys to look too comfortable yet. And they like basically were like, no, you got to keep wearing these shitty garbage clothes
Yeah.
and you don't have sun protection. Sorry.
There's like for 7 episodes, Michael is wearing this cut off buttoned up shirt for so long, and I'm like, take it off, because their suitcases flown
Right,
everywhere.
yeah.
So they start picking stuff, and I'm like, take off that disgusting fucking suit. I'm like, take it off.
Jack wakes up in a suit and he looks damn fine.
Yeah, he's like ripping it. He's like trying to save
man.
people.
He
He's
finds
like,
like vodka bottles. in the
I said
pocket.
this to Julia yesterday, but like his name is Jack
Dr.
Shepard,
Shepard,
and
wow.
they aired the same year, which is funny. Grey's
I was
2004.
thinking that 2 hot Dr. Shepherds.
I have a
even
story.
Even his dad is kind of hot for an old guy.
I don't know.
I have a story. Would
Pass.
you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure,
I'm gonna butcher
but
this.
you know what? What's an exchange? What do I get if you're gonna share the story for me?
That's
What am I gonna
true.
give
no,
you?
No, what am I gonna get in exchange?
What do I give you?
Okay, I need a story.
Decide after.
Okay. So the story I'm gonna butcher, but my roommate and BFF Diana, who's wild, told me one time that she was so obsessed with Charlie. Have you met Charlie? He's like the Australian rocker. He's like a drug addict and like has like black fingernails.
Did you watch Lord of the Rings? No. As soon as that came out of my mouth, I was like,
Fun fact, you haven't seen his face, and now I'm upset because the story doesn't hold as much weight anymore. But
Yeah,
Kate
just look him
is our beautiful, beautiful protagonist girl. She is our final girl in this.
Yeah.
In this, so
Yeah.
she and him dated outside, and my friend Diana was so livid about this that she made a dartboard with her Kate's face on it, and used to throw darts at it, and then her house
That's
burned
insane.
down. And
Diana's?
no, Kate in real life, I'm pretty sure. And Di thought she
Evangeline
conjured
Lilly.
this. Yeah, Evangeline Lilly thought she conjured this out of pure hatred.
well, Di is a witch.
Yeah, she is a witch. But it is like the funniest story coming from her because she was like, I was so young, and she made a dartboard of her face because she was so livid that she was dating Charlie, who is disgusting, by the way, and was so mad about it that she made a dartboard and threw darts at it, and then someone's house burnt down, and she thought she conjured it, which is just amazing.
Someone in the world's house built down.
Yes, someone, and she was like, I did that. I did that with pure hate. Love,
I'm
not
looking
hate.
him up right now.
He is not good.
The You All Everybody is like a funny so I love a good when a show makes kind of a running joke out of something, and so this rock star lands on this island and he thinks everyone will know who he is,
Oh
but
my
they
God.
really don't. So a few of them do. But I guess his band's hit song is this one song, and it's like, "You all, everybody." But they only really ever sing
That's
that
the only
line.
line we get. Well, we get a little bit more, but who cares?
Yeah, and it's like, but you hear it the whole like it's great. We love it. We're lost.
I mean,
heads. The
only real contribution Charlie has to Lost is not Penny's boat. If I were to get a tattoo, no tattoos right now at the moment, mom and dad. But if I'm gonna get a tattoo, it's either gonna be a replica of the heart that Amanda Bynes has tattooed on her cheek, or it's gonna be not Penny's boat on my palm, which just sounds actually terrible.
Yeah, it's
painful.
really bad.
That was my cover photo on Facebook for a while.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
that's a good cover photo.
Thank you,
Julie. More.
I
from you.
did
more from you. You're not contributing at all.
I am Matt.
Don't
I'm
out
done
her.
after this. God damn
Matt,
it. Kathleen sucks.
producer Matt, tell her to contribute.
I was just looking up pictures of Charlie when you were talking.
What do you think?
Charlie. It's Charlie.
Whatever. I hate that. There's an R.
Charlie.
No, it's because
he's Australian.
He's
Claire's
not.
Australian.
No,
Yeah,
but
he
there's
is.
people that name
No,
their
he's not.
kids like Charlie, and I don't like that.
Charlie and the peanut butter. When Claire's like, I really want some peanut butter. I'm the only Australian who likes peanut butter, not Vegemite. And
That's good.
Charlie.
Your accent is fire. That was really
and
good.
then Charlie scoops her invisible peanut butter and she puts his dirty ass fingers and fingernails in her mouth.
Julie has a really good impressionist. Do you want to do now and then?
Yeah, hit me. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is like
No, it's good. It's deep track.
it's a deep track. If you like now and then. Roberta, you can't do that to me. You're my best friend.
you have to play that scene from Now and Then if you can find it. It is spot on. I love that.
I love that movie.
It's so cute.
But I did like how you talked about how this like constantly flashes back to Jack's past.
Yeah.
And he's like very realistic with his patients where like he doesn't really give them like hope. His dad gives them like this whole speech about like how you have to have hope and like even though if you don't think it's gonna happen, whatever. And then it flashes like to the present and he gives like the whole group a speech about how like everything's gonna be okay. And I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
He gets hard for a good speech where he can just command all the attention of the survivors. He's like all about it.
Yeah.
It's like one of many Jack speeches, which is fine. Like we need someone to present some dialogue that's like I can put in my AIM profile, but like I don't need it from Jack every time.
Yeah. The one girl, I don't think it's her. It's definitely not her because she's really young, but the one chick that saw
Shannon.
Yeah. She looks like the daughter from Parenthood.
She is the daughter from Taken.
Hattie?
She looks like Hattie.
Oh, wow.
kind of.
They kind of look
Remember
alike.
what Liam
You get some
Neeson
good
said.
sexy things like little background. Kate, you found that there's a gun on the plane because there was a U.S. Marshal.
yeah.
Like there's cool background information where it's like there's a fugitive on the plane because this U.S. Marshal is taking her from Australia to the U.S. and you think it's the like bad boy Sawyer and you get that it's Kate. Like your main girl is the one
She's
who
a
was
criminal.
getting taken back in handcuffs. There's a lot of like really fun stuff like that.
I remember when I was watching this in college, I was flying a lot between school and home, and I was watching this on a lot of planes. And I remember just like looking around and being like,
not the best.
this fucking crew, like these are the people I'm stuck with.
Yeah, right.
Like if this plane goes down, these are my homies.
Yeah, right.
I can't.
For the rest of your life.
No.
Yeah. Ew. Now I'm gonna think about that.
Oh, all the time.
Ew.
It's.
I'm a big, this is like so dark, but I'm a big proponent of like, if this fucking plane goes down, it better just burst into flames and we all
Dude,
die immediately.
This is what I say.
Like I get more scared for loved ones getting on the plane than myself. Because I'm like, if it goes down, I'll be dead, whatever.
This was my.
It's so morbid.
This was my feeling when I was watching The Walking Dead was I would, and I've said this, and I really, truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that I can do this, is will myself to die.
Yeah. Explain this, because I've heard this theory a lot of times, and I love it.
It means if I'm in such a situation of peril or fear, I'm just saying, like, let's shut it down. Like head, heart, body, organs,
We're
shut
done.
it down. We're done
done
here. We are done here. We're out. And I think my body would listen. I think I could shut it down.
She thinks she could shut her body down and
Upon
and die.
thought.
Upon just pure mind over matter, she is dead now.
Which I would do, because if I was in a situation like Walking Dead, what am I living for?
Yeah,
what am I doing?
for?
Lost is a different situation because there's a lot of hunkos on there.
Yeah.
A lot,
A lot
of
of good
hunkies.
kissable hunkos.
But they're probably real
like
gross.
Walt, who is the child.
Oh, I was like, I don't know who that is.
Walt is the child. MKTO. Sponsored.
None of the guys are like bad looking.
No. Sawyer's hot. The hottest probably. You haven't met him.
The fat guy with curly hair is not.
Hurley's the sweet, sweet angel face though.
But you wouldn't.
I'm a hoe.
Yeah, I would.
I'm a hoe.
Whatever.
You
I mean,
would.
why not?
In Walking Dead, they have this baby for seasons. How is this
Ew,
baby not
dirty-ass
just
baby.
covered in shit and fucking
Grime.
feces? Like, it is a baby, and they can't even like find enough food to like
For
nourish
themselves.
And Rick's like,
themselves.
Carl!
Yeah.
Carl!
I just saw a Instagram. This is getting off topic, but I saw an Instagram of Michonne with a 4-year-old baby girl, or like a six. She's 6. I don't know if they did a
Baby
flash
Judith.
forward. Yeah, I don't know if they did a flash forward. I stopped watching in like season 9, but I was like, whoa. And she has Carl's hat on because Carl's dead.
Yeah, they're like
Spoiler
all
alert.
dead now.
Yeah, Rick's not on it anymore, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe. I believe so.
Anyway,
So we do a
God.
segment on this show.
I wasn't prepared, so this is gonna be a little jank.
I'm letting Kathleen run with it today.
Okay, we've got hot Evangeline Lilly.
Ooh.
Hot girl who's Kate on the show.
You didn't even let me say what the segment is,
yeah.
you psychopath.
I mean, I feel like I know where it's going, but please introduce it. Yeah.
Kathleen, I fucking hate her today. We're done.
Me and Julie have to go to therapy.
No
after this.
chemistry. We're going to get on a plane
Jules,
and
what
crash.
is the segment called?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us?
It's called Where the Fuck Are They Now?
Ooh.
Where
Are
is
they
they? Where
still
are they? Are
lost?
they being?
Like
Who's
the
to say?
actors. Yeah.
Where are the
And
actors
again,
now?
we have got Where Are You Now?
Where are you now?
Yeah, you didn't do the song that we chose.
Running through your stereo, running through a symphony of sound.
Good.
Anyway, so hot Evangeline Lilly, girl crush of all girl crushes.
Yeah,
was in
yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's her like most notable thing. She's doing fabulously. I like the oh god, no. Anyway, Josh Holloway Sawyer, didn't even see him in this season. I think he got
In
his
this
own
episode.
show. It was called Colony. I don't think it did phenomenally.
You know,
But I think it was good enough that he got his own show. I believe in him. I think he could also.
I think he's doing fine because if he's not acting and he's just an everyday dude, then he's
he's
fine.
sexy.
He's
And
fucking
it's fine. John Locke, Terry O'Quinn. He was on Castle Rock. Julia
Yeah.
watched it. Did you like it?
I love that. I actually was considering that for my episode. Was God, I don't remember which episode it was, but I loved Castle Rock. I'm a big Stephen King fan.
We got Jack, who is Matthew Fox. He hasn't really done much. He's been in a few. He starred opposite Tyler Perry in Alex Cross, which seems like an odd pairing.
Yeah, it does.
He was the star of Lost. I would do the same, honestly. I'd be like,
Milk
I probably
it.
have $1 jillion now. What do I need to do anything? Oh, this is the name you did. Claire Littleton. Emily.
Emily, I think it's Emily.
Emily? Yeah.
Day Ravine or
Sure.
something?
She was in Once Upon a Time, which doesn't look like her at all.
Oh, you know what? I did.
Who was she? in
Belle.
that?
Was she Belle?
Um,
Or some shit?
she was Belle, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Ian Somerhalder, hot boon.
Let me see him.
Eh.
Ian Somerhalder was banging his sister in the
She's
show.
too like pretty boy
Oh,
for me.
he's like the main vampire.
Yeah.
What the fuck's his
So
name?
another
Ian
fun fact
Somerhalder.
No,
related.
in the show.
Scroll a little bit, and it'll tell you who he plays.
So his character got killed off. Like they did not like his character arc. The producers, writers were like,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah,
That's why they did that?
Yeah, they were like, this isn't landing. And especially, I think he was on the fence. And then after his character-centric episode, they were like, he's gone. And he has said in interviews after he left Lost and went on to do Vampire Diaries that he channels a lot of what Josh Holloway does for Sawyer's character in Vampire Diaries.
Really?
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah.
We'll do one more, which is Hurley, and he was in Hawaii Five-0, but he was also in our Curb Your Enthusiasm episode as the
Oh my gosh.
as the drug dealer, who is so fucking funny and
That's
hilarious.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And now he's
weird.
dating Kathleen.
And now we're dating.
Well, they're not
we're
dating, they're
happily
just-
in love. We're just banging.
Yeah.
You wrote a lot of notes. It's tough
We
for
had 'em
someone
all.
who hasn't watched.
I know. And this honestly was an episode where it's better upon second rewatch, I think, than first timers.
And knowing what happens in season
Exactly.
one.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's nice because a lot of shows we do, like Shannon, me, like I picked Haunting of Hill House season 1, episode 1. It's not necessarily my favorite, but it's nice to just talk about something so Julie isn't so completely lost, or I'm not so completely lost.
Yeah.
But I thought it was nice, like when we did Buffy, and neither of us knew, and we were just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like question.
Yeah, it's not as hard for shows that like you don't necessarily have to start from
Episode 1.
Episode
Yeah, they're
one.
not
So, like,
serialized.
some of the things that happened in Buffy, like we didn't really know. Like we had to ask questions of like who this person was.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, it was like
That show is.
It wasn't hard not to
That
follow.
episode is obviously, like, famously not really canon. I mean, it is totally obviously canon, but it's kind of a standalone because, like Joey said, that episode didn't even air because of
Yeah.
the Columbine and stuff.
Which is
so.
wild.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was the shooter episode, and
Shit.
it was they shot it pre-Columbine, but Columbine happened like 1 or 2 weeks prior to the episode airing, so they just didn't air it. And they aired it. I think you can watch it on the like DVDs or
Yeah.
the tapes or whatever it was back then, but. And then their finales, similarly, they didn't air it all.
Yeah,
'cause
he
of
said they just like
Columbine.
stopped it
Yeah, so
and then went into like. the
but
new
you can watch it
season.
now, which is funny because Joey was a big fan of Buffy, but that didn't even air when he watched it. Like he obviously
Yeah.
was a fan of it then, and then kept rewatching it enough that made that his favorite episode, even though it didn't air originally.
Yeah.
I like that. Big fan.
Go
Shout out Joey.
Shout out to Joey.
Love it.
Shout out Joey. We love Joey here.
Final thoughts on Lost. I mean, I'm excited to continue rewatching. There is so much. It is like truly the most convoluted show. I don't
Yeah.
remember any of the characters. I remember going through when I was watching it for the first time, like doing Sporkle quizzes.
I loved Sporkle. Ad Sporkle. Hashtag ad.
Yes, 10% off of a free membership.
Jewels, did you ever do Sporkle? Is
I don't know
fucking
what
free. We don't need
Sporkle
10%
is.
off. They'll give you $10 to do a Sporkle quiz.
What is that?
Wait, Sporkle was like,
for real.
it's literally like if you like say you're obsessed with Harry Potter and you're like, a quiz would literally be like, name as many characters as you can in
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Well,
and you're just like,
they had a
you're
Lost
like,
one too.
Hermione, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden you forget every character that ever
exists.
happened. It is
my
so
God.
fantastic.
They had one for Lost, and honestly, I looked at it recently and was like, let's solve it. And there's names that
no.
so many people, which honestly, good on them, because if they were to continue just with the survivors, I'd be bored to damn tears.
Yeah,
So they
so-
needed to expand it. They needed
Hell
to
yeah.
add in like this element of sci-fi to be like, all right, we gotta cross time barriers. We gotta like do some flash sideways.
I am a sci-fi queen, baby.
I'm not.
I am. I'm like, make it wild and explain it away with something that doesn't make sense to me. Sure. I'm all for it. I'm like, do it. I don't care. Magic? I believe it.
Yeah.
Make it good TV and I'm in. I don't fucking care.
that's
Every
so.
show I watch is sci-fi nowadays. Literally.
There's a lot of good stuff out.
One of these days I'll do The Magicians, but I just don't feel like I could ever portray how much I care about it.
Yeah.
This was a show that I think a lot of people went into it thinking they were getting one thing and then absolutely not getting what they signed up
Oh,
for.
I have something to say. So this show, like, I loved the ending. A lot of people fucking hated the ending. Like our friend Kevin, all three of our friend Kevin. He didn't necessarily love the end, I don't think, but Kevin was a fan who watched it from day one on, and it's similar to Game of Thrones, where it's like, I think people who binge Game of Thrones in one sitting will be fine with the ending. But the thing about Game of Thrones is like, people had so much time to theorize. They were writing
Right.
like dissertations.
That's the fun
on what
part.
it could, and it is the fun
That's
part.
awesome.
But like they were let down
Sure.
because how like
Invested they were.
invested they were, and like people think they can write it better than other people. And I think that the end of Lost was kind of like, I think people thought of it as kind of a cop out, but it's like for me who binged it in a month and a half, I was like, I am satisfied. I'm sobbing. This meant everything to me. I love the ending. I'd watch it again from the beginning. But when you spend so much time and years like thinking about what the ending could be,
There's a little bit of letdown
Yeah.
just in the time invested in
sure.
in the whole
But
show.
but I loved it. As someone who binged it, I loved it.
Yeah,
to
I
death.
loved it too.
I did hit a lag at some point. I remember after 6 seasons, like after 4, I was like, I need a week to not watch Lost at all.
Yeah.
But then I re-binged it real quick.
Yeah. Well, that's like when you hit anything too hard.
Yeah. So true. So fucking true. All right, Joelle.
Well,
got any thoughts?
I don't.
Yeah, we fucking know you don't. Like, we know you don't.
I am like upset at how angry she is at me for not talking that much.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I was fucking my cog, so.
No.
Like,
I
you
literally-
all everybody.
Yeah.
I literally told
Crowd goes
Kathleen
wild.
beforehand, like I was like, you're probably gonna have to like run with this because I really didn't have that much like written down.
Don't give me any power because I will never let anyone else
Don't.
speak.
That's okay. It was fine. Everything's fine.
But I miss you.
There's that
Do I need to step out of the
chemistry.
room?
Well, that wraps it up for today. Thank you, Julia, for joining us.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you, my
having
sister.
me. Thank you, my salsa.
This was another episode of my favorite episode of. Tune in next week for another
Julia,
episode.
you have anything to plug?
Episode,
You have anything to
episode,
plug really
episode.
quick?
Yeah, you guys aren't going to be like, oh, where can everyone find you?
Oh, yeah,
where can everyone find
What's
you,
your
Robbie?
address?
Well,
yeah.
not
What's your
that.
social security number? What are
You-
your parents' names?
Well, my parents' names are Susan and Harry. We call them Susan Hare. You can find me on Instagram at Julia Robb, 2 B's. It's my middle name.
Robbie, Rob.
That's me. Thank you guys so much. This was so
Love
much
ya.
fun.
Go follow her.
Love ya.
Bye.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network. You're listening to the Geekscape Network.